This latest story reading is brought to you by the Gregorian calendar. It's still August. It's still August. So here's another book. More poems. This one is called Abroad. You can see it right there on your screen. It is written by Foss, Crane, and Alan Horton, and illustrated, I assume, by Marcus Ward. Although that might be the publishing company, actually. Now that I think about it. And it was released in 1882. I was going to read another one released in 1801, I want to say. But it had those long S's, and it was confusing my brain. Also, it was using some weird shorthand for stuff that I wasn't quite sure what it was. There was an ampersand and a TC and some other stuff, and I wasn't really. I looked it up, I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is it's another one from the children's book collection of the University of California, Los Angeles. Ooh, Isaac Foot. It's always nice to have a name that's a limb. Yay, birdies. And water? Or are those clouds? I guess those are clouds. Abroad. Look at them burbs. Yep, those are something pretty. No idea what they are, though. Bon voyage. Last year, dear friends, we met at home. I assume that's another... Excuse me, I keep clearing my throat today. I assume that's another poem book about being at home. And now abroad we mean to roam, with all who choose. I hope you like my poem reading cadence, because that seems to be the one I've stuck with for all of these. With all who choose to spare the time, we'll wander to a neighbouring clime. And yes, it is British, because it's a superfluous you. Or I guess, I don't know, is it the other way around? A superfluous not you? Nor need you leave your own fireside, for with fair fancy for our guide, our winged thoughts in shallow flight shall cross the channel smooth and bright. And in despite of wind or weather, we'll make our little tour together. Now on our pictures you shall look. To you, oh, we dedicate this book. Well, thank you. I'm glad you looked 100 and something years into the future to dedicate a book to me. And here we are, I assume, packing. Which I will double assume that's going to say so on the next page. Is it picking that up? Can you hear that? No, it doesn't sound like it. Oh well, it's just me. Abroad. Foss Crane. I'm going to have to look that. I said I would look up something in the last thing I read, and I never did it. So, who knows? Oh, I was right. It was a publishing company. I don't know which of these people wrote and which of these people illustrated, so I will not make assumptions. Either one or the other. It could be both. Who knows? Printed and bound by the Marcus Ward and Company? I assume that's what that means. London and Belfast. There's no Belfast in London. And there's no London in Belfast. And yeah, we're in for a bit. So, sit back, get comfortable, get a cup of tea, mug of cocoa, put your feet up, and listen to me fuck this whole thing sideways. Are there any children with you? because now they know a new word. And if they didn't, now they've been reinforced. My readers, would you like to go ahead, just for an hour or so, with little friends of different ages? Look at them in these pictured pages. Brothers and sisters, you can see, all children of one family. Their father, too, you here will find, and good Miss Earl, their teacher kind. 3 years ago, their mother died. Thank you. And ever since, has father tried to give his children in the spring some tour or treat or pleasant thing? Did that rhyme with anything? No? It's just... maybe it will. Said he last Easter, I propose for Nellie, Dennis, Mabel, Rose a trip abroad. So who knows if I'm going to keep this up. To go with me to Paris and through Normandy. Then all exclaimed, Oh, glorious! May not Bertie go with us? Said Rose, we can't leave him at home. Then father said he too shall come. We can't leave him at home. Then father said he too shall come. I really gotta stop doing that. I don't know. Is it annoying? Who knows? Turn to the frontispiece and see the children packing busily. The next page shows them in the station at Charing Cross, their great elation. Elation? Sure. I don't know what that word means. Is plainly written on their faces. Bell rings. Time's up. Come take your places. The Folkestone Express. Oh boy, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. Sped on like a dream. In there lay a steamer fast getting up steam. Then at Folkestone... yeah. Good. Oh, do I read these from left to right or from top to... Let's just go left to right. I'm sure it'll be fine. Then at the Folkestone harbour, down they go across the gangway to the boat below. Mabel and Rose just crossing, you can see, each holding her new doll most carefully. Nellie, Miss Earl, and Bertie too appear, whilst Dennis with the rugs brings up the rear. May looks behind her with an anxious ear, lest father at the last should not be there. Our children, once on board, all safe and sound, watch with delight the busy scene around. The noisy steam pipe blows and blows away. Now this, no. No, I'm not. I'm gonna just talk with normal voice. I'm tired today. I say that every time, don't I? I'm always tired. That's the thing. I'm kind of like the Incredible Hulk, except that I don't transform. I'm just always tired. It's my secret. And that's all the Marvel things I will be quoting today, because I am not a big Marvel head, and a lot of people do not like Marvel. So, and to you I say, it's fine. You can not like it. It's okay. I won't get up your ass about it. It's fine. It's not like the be-all end-all of cinema, like some people seem to think. It's just fun, loud, noisy movies with way too many clips. Now this is just the noise we like, they say. But while the term... it's going to be a lot of tangents and a lot of digressions, I'm feeling. But while the turmoil loud and louder grows, I'm glad the wind blows gently, whispers Rose. And as the steamer swiftly leads the quay, Mabel and Dennis almost dance with glee. Crossing the Channel. Ooh, that's pretty. The sea is calm and clear the sky. Only a few clouds, moo, scudding by. The passengers look bright and say, are we not lucky in the day? The mate stands in the wheelhouse there and turns the wheel with watchful care, staring today. Sorry, I saw a hyphen and just went for it. Staring today is work enough. What must it be when weather's rough? Look at him in his sheltered place. He hasn't got a merry face. 'Tis not such fun for him, you know. He goes so often to and fro. Nelly and father, looking back, glance at the vessel's lengthening track. How far, says Nelly, have we come? Goodbye, goodbye, dear English. I'm gonna dig into that one, I can tell. Oof, I can feel my back. I hurt my back over the weekend, and I should not be sitting in a chair, but here I am. I was sitting in a chair most of the day, so I have only myself to blame. Or not to blame, who knows. Where are we? Dennis and Rose and Mabel walk upon the deck, gaily talking. Walking upon the deck, gaily talking. Says Mabel, no one must forget to call my new doll Antoinette. Travelling in France, oh dear, I hope there's no French. So I'm gonna mush the hell out of that. Travelling in France, 'twould be a shame for her to have an English name. Says Dennis, call her what you will, so you be English, Mabel, still. Sure. Says Rose to Dennis drawing nigher. What? Says Rose to Dennis drawing nigher. Sorry, I added words that weren't there. I think the wind is getting higher. If a gale blows, do you suppose we shall be wrecked? Asks little Rose. And there they are, contemplating their inevitable deaths. I shouldn't say inevitable. Please stop doing that. I shouldn't say inevitable. While chatting with Dennis, Rose lost all her fear, and the swift Albert Victor came safe to the pier. Did this have a name before? Who cares? Yep, there we are. At Boulogne, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Where they landed and there was the train, in waiting to take up the travels again. But to travel so quickly was not their intent. On a little refreshment our party was bent. Oh dear. Here they are at the buffet, for dinner they wait. And the tour garçon, entree. It's in some state, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go full Maurice Chevalier on you all. Oh! At a separate table sits Monsieur Legros. Legros? Sure. Yeah, Legros. And behind him, his poodle. Fidel. You must know. I can't. That's very small. Who can dance? He's so clever and stand on his head. Or upon his nose balance a morsel of bread. Mabel takes up some sugar to coax him, whilst Neil calls him to her. Fidel understands very well. Neil, sure. That is Nell, right? Did I just forget everybody's name? I mean, it rhymes, so I must have it wrong. Why must he have... Why, he must have learned English. He knows what we say. Mabel cries, see? He begs in the cleverest way. Oh, isn't that cute? Casual racism. They start him young. Then to the... Yeah? Okay. I'm not following this at all. Then to the hotel on the quay they all went. To remain till the morrow they all were content. After so much fatigue, father thought it was best, for the children were weary and needed the rest. Pictured here is the room in that very hotel, where so cozily rested Rose, Mabel, and Nell. Just pretend I've been saying Nell this whole time, because I'm pretty sure I've said Neil at least twice, maybe more. Also, every time I see the word Mabel, the name Mabel, I keep thinking of Gravity Falls. But that's just me. Mabel dreamed of the morrow of buying French toys. Because they're ever so different from English toys? Maybe they're not. Now he's being casually racist. Rose remembered the steam pipe and dreamed of its noise. Nellie's dream. Oh, that's why. Because sometimes they call her Nellie. I thought it was a... Was it not a boy? I guess they wouldn't be sharing a room. Nellie's dreams were of home, but she woke from her trance, full of joy just to think they were really in France. Very... very I'm not conveying that at all, am I? Very early next morning, you see them all three looking out from their window that faces the sea. And there they are, looking out of their window that faces the sea. Well, two of them anyway. It's always one child that doesn't get what the other ones get. Ooh, and that's what's outside. France. Breathe it in, folks. The heady atmosphere of 19th century France. I keep forgetting what centuries are what. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. It's annoying me. Even. Oh dear. Excuse me. The first morning in France. Here they see a pretty sight. Sunny sky and landscape bright. Fishing boats move up and down with their sails all red and brown. Some to land are drawing near. Oh, the water still and clear, full of fish as they can be, caught last night in open sea. On the pavement down below, fishwives hurry to and fro, calling out their fish to sell. What a noisy lot, says Nell. Don't judge. They're doing their job. What a clap, clap, clap they make with their shoes, each step they take. Wooden shoes, I do declare. And oh, what funny caps they wear. Jesus, people. What did you think was going to happen when you went to a different country? After breakfast, all went out to view the streets and walk about. The ancient city walls so strong, where waved the English flag for long. Toy shops, too, they went to see, spread with toys so temptingly. Dolls of every kind were there, with eyes that shut and reel here. Ew. And and in a brightly coloured row, dull fisherfolk like these below. Prices marked as if to say, come and buy us, quick today. 1 for Mabel, 1 for Rose, 2 for Bertie, I suppose. Father bought, then all once more set off travelling as before. And there, I assume, are the dolls. Sure. To Rouen next day they went that very day. God damn it. To Rouen next they went that very day, and heard strange places called out by the way, where bells kept tinkling while the train delayed. At Amiens 10 minutes, quite they stayed. Dennis bought chocolate to make a feast. Can you get a feast out of chocolate? Sign me up. White chocolate, better be. I know it's not real chocolate, but I do like me some white chocolate. They had 3 dinners in the train at least. At Rouen, here they are at last, though late. I'm not reading this right at all. Man, there's a lot of asides happening in my head that are coming out of my mouth. I'm sorry. This is going to be a while. Oh, I am surprised. If you click away now because I've bitched about myself for the 5th time, I don't blame you. Just, I don't know, maybe it's endearing. Who fucking knows? excuse my language. Oh, motherfucker. There's another one for you kids. Repeat that to your parents. They'll enjoy it. Hell, repeat that to your extended family. They won't question your parents' parenting skills at all. The bedroom clock there shows 'tis after 8. Mabel looks tired. She lies back in her chair, beside the wood fire burning brightly there. Rose says good night to Bertie fast asleep, while her own eyes can scarcely open keep. Okay, you're just forcing that in there. Next morning, through the quaint old streets of Rouen, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I guess it doesn't matter because that's another word I can't say, so I'm just going to rhyme it with the last one. They went to see the old church of St. Owen. Maybe it's Rowan, and that's Owen. If only I knew anyone who spoke French. I know of at least one person who speaks French, but I'm not their friend. I'm just passing through. With eager feet and chatting as they walked, about the ancient toes, together talked. Toa? Toes? Town. Jesus Christ. Glasses. You cost $200. Do your job. You can read that. You can read that title on your own. There isn't that word in. No, there's not. Okay. Said Dennis first. This city bold belonged to us in days of old. Jesus. Said Nellie here Prince Arthur wept by cruel John a prisoner kept. Here Joan of Arc was tried and burned. No, she wasn't. She was tried, but I don't think she was burned. Don't come at me. I may have that backward. Maybe she really was burned. I don't remember. As I've said before, I'm just a human chat GPT. Words come out, and I don't know what they mean. Said Rose, oh dear, it makes me sad to think what trouble people had, who once lived in this very town, or up where we gaily walk up and down. What kind of racism is that? There's a... It's quaint, I'll give it that. Troubling, though. They're giving this... is he a priest? I guess he's a priest. So, alms? No, not alms. Alms are for poor. Ah, fuck off. Who knows? Now they have come into the entrance wide of St. Owen's Church, see side by side. Dennis and Nellie going on before the others watch. Yon beggar, oh, he's a beggar, okay. Yon beggar at the door. Poor blind Pierre, he always waits just so, listening for those who come and those who go. He tells his beads and hope all day that some may think of him amongst those who chance to come. I just bulldoze right through all that. Though you can't see, he's quick to hear. He knows a long, long time ere one draws near. Stop, shut up. Just read. Read the book. Stop saying things. And shakes the coppers in his well-worn tin. Click, click, it goes. See, Bertie's gift drops in. 'Tis his one sow that Bernie gives away. It might have brought him sweets this very day. When through St. Owen's Church they'd been at last, along its aisles and down its transept past. They went to the cathedral there to see the tomb of Rolf, first Duke of Normandy, and also the first name of the voice of the guy who plays George Stobart in the Broken Sword series, whose first and second game takes him to France. That was just an aside. I don't remember his last name. But Mabel said, why should we English care about that Rolf they say was buried here? She then she ran on, not waiting for reply. My little reader, can you tell her why? Can you tell me why? I don't know. Rollo was a Viking who, as Count Rohan, became the first ruler of Normandy, today a region in northern France. The offspring of Rollo and his followers, through the intermingling of indigenous Frankish and Gallo-Roman population of the lands they settled, became known as the Normans. After the Norman conquest of England and their conquest of southern Italy and Sicily over the following 2 centuries, their descendants came to rule England, much of Ireland, Sicily, and Antioch from the 11th to 13th centuries, leaving behind an enduring legacy in the histories of Europe and the Near East. Rue de l'Épicure, sorry. Yep. Yeah, I tried. Maurice Chevalier up and went. The cathedral was cold with its dim solemn aisles, but outside our friends found the sun waiting with smiles to show them their way, so hither they came, across an old street with a hard, yeah, no kidding, with a hard French name. And still walking onward through streets we can't see. At length, reached the creche of, so, yeah, I know what that word means, I just can't say it. Rosalie, where poor women's children are kept all day through, amused, taught, intended, and all for one. I knew I pronounced that wrong. And all for one sou. Fuck. Children are happy with sister all day. Mothers can't nurse them, they work far away. Good sister Rosalie, she is so kind. Even when... Does that even need to be contracted? Even when they're troublesome, she doesn't mind. Man, this is a bad idea. Here in the first room with the babies we see, sitting at the around Rosalie. I get it, but okay. Dodo was crying he can't find his spoon, also he's extinct. So, no, he's not extinct yet. No, he's got another... Oh no, they weren't extinct in the 18th century, did they not? Or did they... I don't remember. Anyway, that's not a bird, that's a baby. Dodo is crying he can't find his spoon. Someone will find it and comfort him soon. See, they didn't contract that. Over yon cradle bends kind Sister Claire. Dear little Mimi is walking up there. Sister Felicity, sweetly sings she. Up again, down again, baby to me. Everybody with me now? A, B, C, D. What are doors today? E, F, G, H, I, yep, doing all of them. J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, X, Y, Z? Does France not have a W? Or a double V? Huh, alright. The schoolroom of the creche is wide. The children sit there side by side, while sister hears their lessons through, and when there's no more work to do, they all get up and form a ring, and as they stand, together sing. Now hand in hand, tramp, tramp they go. Jeez, that's a little, that's a little, something. Fuck. I'm gonna edit that out. Oh, no. No, no line march to and fro. For with the rattle in her hand, the sister makes them understand when to advance and when to draw back. Click, clack it goes. Click, clack, click, clack. Mail route. Click, clack. On Stephanie, now... What? Why did I do that? On, Stephanie, now turn your eyes. She's only 5, but she's so wise. Yeah, I've heard that from some troubling people. She knows the alphabet all through, and more than that, can teach it too. At 5? Is that the shouldn't look? If that... No? Okay, moving on. Just now she moves her... No, that is her. You're not 5, Jesus. If you're 5, I'm... a dinosaur. Just now she moves her wand to J and tells the children what to say. But 'tis no use to tell Nanette, for she is but a baby yet. I'm guessing that's Nanette. No. Yeah, there's an obvious joke. How do you solve the problem like Maria? Arrival at Cain? Does it rhyme with anything in here? No, okay. I'm so sorry. Through ruin where our friends had been. I'm only calling it ruin because that's what they called it in that one Supergrass album. Did they even say the word ruin in that? I don't remember. When all our friends had been and all its famous places seen, they moved on. Old Caen to see another town in Normandy. Arrived at Caen, the travellers. I hope that's right. The travellers here before the chief hotel appear. Miss Earl, Rose, and Bertie you descry. The rest are coming by and by. Monsieur Le Matcha, sure, with scrape and bow, stands ready to receive. With scrape and bow? Sorry. Stands ready to receive them now. And madam with her blandest air, and their alert commissionaire. Next up the staircase we see them go with femme de chambre, the way to show. Father and Dennis standing there are asking for the bill of fare. Monsieur Lemaitre, who rubs his hands and says, "What are Monsieur's commands?" His hums. With scrape and bow again you see, the most polite of men is he. Can you tell I'm getting tired? There are 35 more pages. I just wanted to let you know. I'm very tired. This is a long book. It's only it's 64 pages for me, but that's because it counts the pages before it starts numbering them, like most books do. Now that dinner's ordered, we'll just take a peep at the cooks in the kitchen. Just see what a heap. Sorry, that was not the end of the sentence. What a heap of plates are provided, and copper pans too. Soon they'll make a dinner for me and you. French cookery's famous for flavouring rare, but of garlic I think they've enough and to spare. It's a harmful stereotype, and I will not have any more of it. If we ask how their wonderful dishes are made, I'm afraid they won't tell us the tricks of the trade. Oh, they'll tell us. Do they make them, I wonder, of frogs and of snails? Sometimes. Or are these, after all, only travellers' tales? No, they're the developers of the Lego minifigs series, the licensed games. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. The names are all, although they just call themselves TT now. The names are all down in the menu, no doubt. The menu, no doubt. No, that's Spanish. But the worst of it is that we can't make them out. Did you go to another country and not learn the language? It's kind of a requirement. It seems like you just sort of showed up and expected everything to be easy for you. The washerwoman of that place. Here the children came next morn, walking by the river Rhone, near the poplars on the green where the washerwives are seen. Here they look at old Nanette. I thought it was Nanette. Wait, no, that was someone else entirely. Wringing out the garments wet. Saw how Eugenie, her daughter, soaked them first in running water. Watched the washers soaping, scrubbing with their mallets, rubbing, drubbing, working hard with all their might till the clothes were clean and white, unless they were coloured. L'homme qui passe in France, so this is the knife grinder of Cain. The man who thrives by grinding knives, who never stays home at all. But he must always be moving on. He's glad to find some knives to grind. But when they're finished, he'll be gone. With dog behind to turn the wheel, he grinds the knife for farmer's wife, and pauses now the edge to feel. The dog behind him hears the sound of cheerful chat on this and that, and fears no knife is being ground. The man makes jokes with careless smile. He doesn't mind. The dog behind, but goes on talking all the while. I hope he wouldn't mind. The dog is providing is turning his lathe thing. Grindstone? Grindstone. Whetstone? Let's move on. Chocolate tout here. Here. Blah, 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 blah. Chocolate and milk. Little Lily, whose age isn't 3 years quite, went one day with Mama for a long country walk, keeping up all the time with a chatter and talk of the trees and the flowers and the cows and brown and white. Soon she asked for some cake and some chocolate too, for this was her favourite lunch every day. "Dear child," said Mama, "let me see, I dare say. If I ask that nice milkmaid and say it's for you, some sweet milk we can get from her pretty white cow." Did I? Sure. "I would rather have chocolate," Lily averred. Then Mama said, "Dear Lily, please don't be absurd. Fuck you, I want chocolate." Look, chocolate is a human right? No, I take that back. "My darling, you cannot have chocolate now. You know we can't get it so far from the town. Get it from the cow, it's brown. It's one right back there. That's how chocolate works. You get milk from the white ones, you get chocolate from the brown ones. It's basic biology. Look it up. Coming straight... Ooh, dear. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thought we were talking about a different appendage there. "Come and stroke the white cow. See her coat soft as silk." But Mama Lily said, "If the white cow..." Fuck, damn it. Damn it, I thought I was being so clever, and it's in the... fucking hell. "If the white cow gives milk, then chocolate must surely must come from the brown." Fine. I guess it was the obvious joke. What are they doing? Was it alluded to in the last poem? I don't know. It is alluded to in this. The lace makers of Can. Fucking hell. I'm sorry if you do not enjoy swearing. I'm going to keep doing it. In many a lowly cottage in France, the bobbins kept threading a mazy dance, the whole day long from morning to night, weaving their lace so pretty and light. How swiftly the nimble fingers twist the threads on the pillow, not one is missed. Each bobbin with... By the way, Bobbin is the name of the protagonist from the Loom adventure game by LucasArts. His full name is Bobbin Threadbare. Each bobbin would seem to rise from its place to meet the fingers that form the lace. How wondrously quick the pattern shows, from the threads as under our eyes it grows. How quickly follow stem, leaves, and flower, as if under spell of enchanter's power. Look at old Nanette, she can scarcely see, yet none can make lovelier lace than she. And her granddaughter Julie, just 7 years old, is learning already the bobbins to hold. Without drawings to follow or patterns to trace, how can these poor cottages... Fuck you. How can these poor cottages fashion their lace? From the plant and the flower and unfolding fern, and the frost on the pane by the patterns they learn. Yeah. Thought I had more there. No. Okay. From gossamer web by the spider wove, from natural taste and natural love, for every form of beauty and grace, they have learned to... Love? They've learned to fashion their wonderful lace. True love. Marriage. For Paris, quite an early start. See, I can pronounce that, because I'm a fucking weeb. They make the following day. They made the following day, and out of windows everyone kept looking all the way. And many a pretty road like this the train went whizzing past, with a gatekeeper with flag and horn stood by the gates shut fast. That's Marie you see standing there. Now do you wonder why a woman has to blow the horn before the train goes by? Her husband is a lazy man, he's in his cottage near. He would not stir a step, although the train will soon be here. And Marie called him, Paul, be quick, go shut the gate, she cried. Don't hurry me, there's time enough, the lazy man replied. So Joseph, had to go, you see, and take the horn and blow. And every day it's just the same, she always has to go. En route. That's what I get for watching too much Star Trek. Clatter, clatter, on they go, past stream and gentle valley, until the engine wheels turn slow and stop at length to dally. For dinner time a full half an hour, with crowded station, while hungry little mouths devour the tempting cold collation. Spread in the dining room at hand, and then when it's finished the children sally in a band. Sorry, I was having trouble reading that. With appetites diminished. Just butchered that entire thing. To look at all the folk they meet, the porters in blue blouses, the white-robed priests, the nuns so neat, the farmers and their spouses. And all the... I'm just gonna trot past the sexism there. And all the other folk that make a crowd in France amusing, till hark their places all must take without a minute losing. The engine puffs, away they fly, and soon leave it all behind them. Now turn the page, and you and I in Paris safe will find them. Will we? We will not. Unless we're in Paris right now. I assume so. That's not even fair. I'm going to assume I know what that says. I can almost guarantee it's what it is. Paris, gay Paris, or Paris, gay Paris, so bright and so fair. Your sun is all smiles, and there's mirth in your air. The children, though tired with their travelling, found that the first night in Paris one's sleep is not sound. For the hum of the streets makes one dream all the night of the wonderful sights that will come with the light. The morning was fine and breakfast dispatched. They soon made their way to the gardens attached to the old royal palace, and there met a throng of French children and joined in their games before long. That's what's happening here. One boy lent his hoop and gave Bertie a bun. And, talking quite fast, they seemed to think it's great fun, with nice English girls and Nellie to play, though not understanding a word she might say. On leaving the gardens, the party was seated outside of a cafe, and there Papa treated them all to fine ices and chocolate too. Yes. Go get that kid. Tell him this is where the chocolate is. They could hardly tell which was nicer, could you? The chocolate, of course. Although I won't turn down some nice ices, but are those ices also chocolate? Paris, gay Paris. Oh, that's what it says. Fine. I'm assumed, and I was taken to task. Karis. I used to go to school with a girl named Karis. Paris, gay Paris, so bright and so fair. Your sun is all smiles, and there's mirth in your air. In your air. I'm sorry, I have trouble with words coming. I have trouble with words. That's why I'm reading a book out loud into a microphone, because I have trouble with words. And the Tuileries? Sure. Gardens. In the Tuileries Gardens each afternoon, I'm just going to blow right through that. A little old man comes walking along. Now watch what happens, for just as soon... Oh, I see. As they see him, the birds begin their song and flutter about his hands and head, and perch on his shoulder, quite at their ease. For he fills his pockets with crumbs of bread to feed his friends who live in the trees. And well they know he loves them so, that into his pockets they sometimes go. But hark, what's going on over there? 'Tis surely a Punch and Judy man. Making old Judy, I do declare. We briefly met Punch in a previous book. Making old Judy, I do declare, talk French as fast as she ever can, as ever she can. And I think from the looks of poor old Mr. Yes. I gotta stop getting hung up on stuff. Just read the fucking book. He's getting it hot from his scolding wife, Mr. P. See, I knew I didn't get that right. But wait just a minute and then you'll see he'll beat her within an inch of her life. Yeah, that's what they do. Walk in, take it. I can't believe that was entertainment. Spousal abuse. Kind of Steve. You ever watched Everyone Loves Raymond? Everybody Loves Raymond. It's kind of the same thing. Walk in, take a seat, and you'll... Actually, a lot of 90s sitcoms were like that, weren't they? Just shitting all over each other. And somehow still deeply in love. I don't know, maybe that's just how they do. Walk in, take a seat, and you'll see her beat, and a penny is all you pay for the treat. Damn. That's a bargain. There they are. Old Punch and Judy and whoever the fuck that is. Good times. Mizzy Dakuni. Where shall we go next? They still would say. And still they found new pleasures every day. At times Miss Earle took Bertie for a ride, with Rose and Mabel side by side. With little Rose and Mabel side by side. And then their father took the elder two to see the picture galleries and view historic buildings, where sometimes they rested, and many a bit of history was suggested. They saw a wedding at the Madeleine Lane. Then went to Notre Dame. That's the American pronunciation. And then went to Notre Dame, close by the Seine, and climbed the lofty tower to see the view, which cannot be surpassed the whole world through. One day their father took them all to see a great museum as full as full could be, of rare old furniture of every kind, artists of the Middle Ages designed, and precious things in silver and gold, made by the best artificers of old. Artificers of old. Now, while another way the party's eyes are turned, King Henry's staircase Bertie spies, and climbing up with help from Sister May, he calls to Dennis when he gets halfway. Come catch me quick, and then runs off with peals of merry laughter, Dennis at his heels. Kids are in a museum, be careful. This is full of stolen artifacts from other places that oops, I hit the mic. Just edit all that out. Bertie was first, I've won the race, he cried, but soon upon his lips the triumph died, and Bertie backed in fear to Dennis, and Bernie back in fear to Dennis ran. Oh, Dennis, look, I ran against that man. He shook and rattled so and wagged his head, and gave me such a fright. Pooh, Dennis said. He will not hurt, and then he made a bow. Goodbye, old soldier, we must leave you now. Next afternoon, while at the zoo, a little tale they heard of of an elephant that's there, and you shall hear it, word for word. Mumbo and Jumbo. No wumbo. Oh. Ooh. Camel. Emu. Chocobo. Mumbo and Jumbo, two elephants great from... Oh, they give them back to India. From India travelled and lived in state. In Paris the one and in London the other. Now Mumbo and Jumbo were sister and brother. A warm invitation to Jumbo came to cross the Atlantic and spread his fame. Said he, I really don't want to go, but then they're so pressing, I can't say no. Don't put words in the elephant's mouth. So away to America Jumbo went, but his sister Mumbo was quite content to stay with the children of Paris, for she is as happy as an elephant could be. I rather doubt that. Also, don't put things on elephants' backs. Don't ride on elephants' backs. They actually can't bear the weight. I know seems like they can. And now I'm realizing that bird is pulling a carriage. That's probably... What is... I guess the guy is, because what is the bird even holding on to? Wings on hands. What do you... These animals should be in a museum. I've a capital house quite large and airy. Close by the live ostrich. Oh, ostrich. And dromedary. That's the camel, I think. I know that. I have to caveat everything I know by thinking I don't. And we see our young friends every day, said she. Oh, where is the zoo that would better suit me? Spain. A steady steed as my move, just a trifle slow. Upon her back you couldn't well... Upon her back you couldn't well a steeplechase and go. But other opportunities there are to have a ride, for there's a stud of ponies and a camel to bestride. A cart that's drawn by an oxen can accommodate a few, and if such queer conveyances don't please you at the zoo, there are little tramway cars too, with seats on either side, which will take you through the gardens and through the bois beside. Gonna pretend that's how that's pronounced. Take the ticket on the other page, and with it you may go from the lake within the garden that's called the Milo. I'm never sure if you... That's a Spanish thing when you don't pronounce the L's when there's two of them, I think. The swans. Ho, pretty swans, do you know in our zoo the swans of old England are just like you? Don't tell me, said a cross old bird. I know better. The thing's quite absurd. I mean, for one, they can talk. I don't think the swans in England can do that. Their figures, I'm sure, are not worth a glance. If you want to see style, a glance. If you want to see style, Sorry. If you want to see style, you must come to France. With a man, should I just start this whole thing over? No. With a scornful of whisk. Like it's like, yeah. The swan turned sail, spread its wings to the breeze, and was off full sail. Ho, pretty swan, do you know in our zoo the swans are not half so conceited as you? A flower stall on the boulevards. Look at Mary Victorine at her stall in the street, with the lily and rose and the white marguerite. Sure. She makes pretty bouquets the whole of the day. There are buyers in plenty who pass by the way. Little Basil and Amelie, watch her stand. Up to me, watching her stand. Up to Marie Victorine. Basil stretches his hand. Can't you spare me, says she. Huh. Was that just to fit it in? Weird. A morsel of green, or one sweet little flower, good Marie Victorine? If you came for a flower, where prays your sue? Answers Marie Victorine. I can't give you one, too. I can't give one to you. Such flowers as mine are for selling, you know. You must go to the country where wildflowers grow. Don't give them ideas. Tell them this is the only place you can find flowers. A day at the Versailles. At the Versailles, as perhaps you've heard, countless pictures of fights form the chief of the sights. Fights? Yes. So could many great battles have ever occurred. No wonder our children the gardens preferred, for the fountains were really so pretty a sight, that Bertie declared, and I think he was right, it was better to play, like the fountains all day, than such terrible battles to fight. Ooh, that's a nice fountain. Uh-huh. L'enfant est terrible. La fontaine d'innocent. Around this pretty fountain here, sparrows gather all the year, and its sparkling waters dip, from its basin freely sip. Round their fountain play, safe and happy all the day. Could eat a bale of hay, I just may. Little innocents they are, that is Antoine, bread in hand. See him by his mother's stand. Saucy. Little birdies spy Antoine's bread, and at it they fly. Each trying each to get a share, frighting little Antoine in there. Whoa. It's almost over, I'm sorry. Antoine does not wish to share, thinks the bread is all his right, just to suit his appetite. My arm hurts. Mother says, be kind, my son. There is more where this was done. Bread enough for thee at home, lest the pretty sparrows come. Home. Gonna keep pointing that out every time it happens, apparently. Give them each a little crumb. What? Make up your mind. Chrome. Give him a chrome. Here our little family. Near the fountain too, we see, walking through the open space to the covered marketplace. God. If you never want to read a book again after this, I will understand. Because I am doing a poor job. At a marketplace. Is that a lobster? The markets of Paris. Here from morning till night they are selling and buying, and from morning till night their market wares crying. All around you will find there is food of each kind. There are flesh, fowl, and fish here for every dish. The fish market you see on the opposite page, on this stall that is nearest the shellfish appear. But were I to begin, it would take me an age to tell you the names of the fish you find here. See, there's Puss looking out for what she can get. Really? Oh yeah, there's a cat down there. I didn't even see it. Where am I? See, there's Puss looking out for what she can get. And that little boy who was laughing is Paul, the girl with the lobster, his sister Lisette. And he's watching to see if it nips at her at all. Madam, I thought there was something on the others. Madam Blaze, man, I'm white. There tells Nellie her muscles are good, but Nellie smiles sweetly and goes on her way, and I venture to doubt if she quite understood all the funny French things Madame Blaise had to say. Other parts of the market contain butcher's meat, and poultry and fruit and salads and greens, and here, if you want them, quite young, fresh and sweet, are... I can barely read that. But we know them as French beans. For from morning till night, here they're selling and buying, and from morning till night their market wares crying. Now there are goats. In the Luxembourg Gardens, Rose and Bertie have a ride, Mabel walking at their side, carries both the dolls, and so by Luxembourg they go. Luxembourg? Resistance is futile. Over in that palace soon, for the clock is marking noon. The Senate will together come, like our House of Lords at hum. Hear that woman who will buy windmill, ball, or butterfly. Josephine and Philippe see, as eager as they both can be. Charles before her silent stands, with no money in his hands. No more sous, he spent them all on that big inflated ball. It's pretty big. Be content, my little friend. Money spent you cannot spend. That's how that works. With good Saint Bernard play, buy more toys another day. But I want him to die. A merry-go-round in the Champs-Élysées. Elysées? Ulysses Pieces. Here all day long are racehorses for hire, that never go wrong and besides never tire. Here all day long are racehorses for hire. Who will come for a ride? Horses, lions, all ready. Bear or tiger astride, shall sit safe and steady. Who will come for a ride? Lions, horses, all ready. Round and round they canter slow, soon they fast and faster go. Look at Louis all in white, Gaspard almost out of sight, Rose and Mabel side by side. Bertie watching as while they ride. Dennis waits till they have done. Much too big to join the fun. Brother Paul with serious air minds his little sister Claire, thinking if he had a sou, she would have some pleasure too. Oh, goodness. Now with regret they've said goodbye to Paris bright and gay. To Calais. They're drawing nigh, I guess. You see them on their way. To travel thus all through the night, at first they thought was fun, but by degrees they grew less bright, and hours passed one by one. Then Nellie to her sisters said, let's have an extra rug, and make believe we're home in bed and cuddle close and snug. I could do with a good snug. Been a bit. Anybody up for a snug? Hit me up. Just a friendly one. Nothing untoward. Just a good snug between buds. And try until the night is past, which can most quiet keep. Then all were tucked up warm and fast, and soon fell sound asleep. The happy time abroad again in dreams is all gone o'er. Oh, I see. Again in Paris, as it seems, they watch the crowd once more. The Elysian fields beneath the trees are peopled with a throng of loveliest dolls, which at their ease converse all right along. And wondrous Easter eggs and nests abundant lie around, and April fish with golden vests and silver coats abound. Such fleeting fancies dreamland lends to pass the time away. until the railway journey ends just at the break of day. Port de la Mercalais. The last place where they stopped abroad was Calais, which, you know, belonged to England once, though that was many a year ago. It has a beautiful tower all weather-worn and brown, and here's the sea gate opening from the walls that guard the town. But now farewell to merry France, the vessel awaits to take our party back across the Dover Straits. Homeward bound. Hurrah, we're afloat, and away speeds the boat as fast as its paddles can go, with the wind on its back and broad foaming track behind it, as white as the snow. On board every eye is strained to descry the white cliffs of our own native land, and brightly they gleam on as onward we steam, till at length they are close at hand. The sun shines with glee on the rippling sea, the pennant strung high on the mast. But at length it sinks down behind the grey town and tells us the day is nigh past. See, there is the port, and near it a fort, and the strong old castle of Dover. We're close to the shore, just 5 minutes more, and the channel crossing is over. Then all safe and sound upon English ground, we bid farewell to the sea. Fair bid well to the sea. Jump into the train and start off again as fast as the engine can flee. We run up to town and thence travel down to the house in the country at night. Then, I'm sorry to say, dear Nellie and May, Rose, Dennis and Bertie Bright, we must leave in their home till the next holidays come, when let us all hope it may chance that our trip will next spring be as pleasant as a thing as our swallow fight over France. Bon retour. Now that at last we are safely back again, and as upon the railway bridge the train has stayed some moments to let us say goodbye, and ask if you enjoyed the trip and try to think that soon again we're sure to meet on Crancy Road or in crowded street, and ere we part still linger for a while. Just gonna barrel right through that apostrophe. Viewing this tranquil scene with pensive smile. The evening glow, the river's fallen tide, St. Paul's familiar dome and London's pride. Au revoir, that word. Bientôt, That's it. That's the end of the book. There it is. Yep, companion volume was at home. Uniform in size and price. My voice is dying. Goodbye!
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.